my candidacy for governor of the great state of Iowa.
Governor Kim Reynolds kicked off her re-election. A potential November challenger says she's ready for her. We're going to sit down with that Democratic candidate. Find out what Deidre DeZier says she will do about an educational issue challenging our state. And she also answers a question about a topic that she admits she wishes she did not have to talk about so much. Plus, Iowa's governor termed Cabinet Secretary Tom Vilsack on the two things that he says should help guide this country in the days ahead.
From your local election headquarters, this is The Insiders with Dave Price.
For the past decade now, there's been a Republican governor of Iowa. First Terry Branstad and then Kim Reynolds. Now Deidre DeZier hopes to change that following this November's election. She does not have an active Democratic challenger in this race, so no real party primary, but we ask her, should she?
You know, this was an opportunity for us to really unify as a party. We've had some competitive primaries in the past, in the recent past for our gubernatorial, going back to 2018, really competitive primary. And considering everything that's happened to the state and this country over the last 2 years, this gives us a lane to reset and to unify, to bring people back to the organizing we're accustomed to doing.
You were an athlete, so are you better to have the, like the practice games to get ready for the championship? Or are you all right with not having a primary, that analogy?
Whether there is an official practice or not, we're always preparing. And there's no better place to prepare in this state than amongst Iowa Democrats. So they're taking me through the fire, and we're going to be better off because of it on the other side.
You've raised a lot of concerns about that tax cut package that Republicans had passed, primarily Republicans had passed through the legislature. So let's fast forward here. Let's say you get elected governor. Do you do anything to rescind any part of that, or how do you move forward on that?
I definitely think there's a lot of talk that can happen amongst legislators to see if this is really a good fit for our state. Because when you look at the math, when you look at what that tax cut actually does, it meets some of the needs of Iowans 4 years from now. What we see is that the average Iowan is going to get $50 4 years from now. About a third of Iowans won't get anything. And so when we look at how we're using our tax dollars, the way that I'm looking at them is how we maximize the potential of those. We know there's gaps related to education. We know there's gaps related to mental health care, infrastructure, climate. Those are spaces where we can invest Iowa taxpayer dollars to make sure that they're working for them and working for our state. And so that's where I would like to put my attention towards. What do we do with the resources we're getting to make sure Iowans are getting the best part of the deal that we can give them?
And where do you get the $50 figure from?
Well, when you look at the math that they gave us month by month, it's about $50 extra a month. Yeah, okay. About $50 extra a month per person, but that's 4 years from now.
So as you look at how they ran the numbers on all of this, is there kind of an income threshold where you would like to see tax cuts for these folks and below, and then not for here and above? Like, do you have income levels like that, the way you do the math?
The way that I'm looking at it right now is how we invest in this state. And I think we're a little premature talking about tax cuts. These are the moments where we look at the money that's coming in, the revenue that's coming in, and we ask ourselves how we put it to work. Iowans are facing a number of challenges. Can those resources step up to the plate to help Iowans address those challenges? I don't believe now is the time for us to talk about tax cuts. I realize that some people are interested in that, and that makes a lot of sense. But people are also interested in investment in schools. People also are interested in investment in our communities. And I want to prioritize those things because those are the ways in which we can move this state forward, addressing the challenges now so that we're not reactive. And I believe that a tax cut right now is politically reactive. It may look good in a headline. It may look good in someone's reelection campaign, but it's not looking good for the future of the state right now.
You've been critical of the governor's idea to use some tax dollars to help students essentially transfer from a public school to a private school. You've talked about that Republicans have underfunded that growth that they give per students from 1 year to the next at 2.5%. Big picture, how would you change the investments in schools?
Well, one, I believe that we at least have to meet the inflation threshold. And our state legislators have been asking for more and more investments. And And a couple of weeks ago, we just got a 2.5% increase. And we know that our students need more than that because we see the data right now. We see our teachers leaving, we see our parents frustrated, and we see our students not getting the best end of the deal. And so one of the things that I want to do is ensure that we're investing in education in such a way that every school, rural, urban, suburban, has access to the type of coursework and the technology that they need to deliver that education to the students. I also want to make sure that our students are best prepared before they meet that kindergarten teacher. That means we need at least 30 hours of pre-K given to every family so that our students are set up for success in the most vulnerable time of their lives when they have the opportunity to learn the most. They're learning. The other part that's incredibly important to me is ensuring that our teachers are paid their worth. You know, we talk about how our teachers are leaving this state, going to other states to teach. Some of them are leaving the profession. Many of them are working multiple jobs. Our teachers are the bedrock of education and the bedrock of our future. And it's incredibly important that we make sure that they're paid their value. Their ability to collective bargain holistically was taken away a few years ago. And so that negotiation table is basically non-existent, and we're seeing the challenges, whether they were intended or unintended, the consequences of those actions right now today, and we've got to do better, giving our teachers the voice, giving our parents the voice, and providing our students with the best education so that they have a limitless future.
When you talked about the preschool 30 hours a week there, is that state funded? Is that federal funded? And are you talking about 3-year-olds, 4-year-olds? What age?
Yeah, we're talking about 3-year-olds and 4-year-olds, and that's going to be a combination of resources, both state and federal dollars. We know we get a great deal of federal dollars there right now. There are some resources that we could use through taxpayer dollars in prioritizing that those students get the education. Why do we need that? I'm talking to teachers. They're telling me that their kindergartners are not coming as prepared as they possibly can, and we continue to push off things from grade to grade. And what happens is that we push off, because we're pushing off things so early, we're also pushing off career readiness. We're also pushing off the opportunities for those kids to graduate from school and to get a job, right? And so that's where I want us to focus our attention. How do we maximize K through 12 education? How do we bring on our 2-year institutions to ensure they're a part of the process? Our trades are a part of the process, our manufacturers and our businesses. We all can make this thing happen. It's going to take a village, but we've also been here before as a state. That's why we were once number one.
I remember a couple years ago when Beto O'Rourke was running for president, we were in eastern Iowa, and he was talking about the idea to have government-funded preschool for 4-year-olds. And there was a woman who owned a daycare there, private daycare, and she said, hey, I like a lot of the things you're talking about, but understand that that's where we make our money. We don't make our money on the infants because a teacher can only have so many, but the 4-year-olds, they can have more of them. And if you take away my 4-year-olds, I'm not going to make any money. I'm not going to make a go of it. Have you heard that complaint, and how would you address that?
We've heard the complaint about reimbursement in general for childcare, and the reimbursement rates is impacting childcare providers to actually pay their workers. Average childcare worker gets $26,000 a year. I know this state can do better than that because these childcare workers are not babysitters. They are teaching our children. And this state has lost nearly 40% of our childcare providers since the start of COVID. We already had childcare deserts. We already had lack of access opportunities. And this child care component is not only going to help best prepare our students for an education, but it's also going to help our parents with their decision on whether or not they go back to work. Because right now, parents are making that decision. Do I get this part-time job at a restaurant? Is it worth it? Or do I just stay at home with my child because that's just a little bit cheaper? And so in order for us to not only help our children, this is an economic decision as well, to get our people back to work.
Coming up next, it is one part of this early campaign for governor that has followed DeGire's candidacy. Can she be financially competitive with Kim Reynolds? Hear how she answers that question next.